Recently, I traveled to Seattle to attend PAX West. I got to try out games that weren't out at the time yet and had the incredible opportunity to spend half an hour with none other than Eric Barone, aka ConcernedApe. If you don't know who he is, he's the creator of Stardew Valley, this smash hit farming game from 2016 which is still to this very day getting substantial updates. I got to talk with Eric about his hobbies outside of gaming, why he still comes back to work on Stardew Valley, and how it was making bosses for a change for his new upcoming game, Haunted Chocolatier. So strap in, get ready, and let's jump right into it. So, I was curious. I know when you grew up, you played a lot of Harvest Moon. I mean, that's why you made Stardew Valley. But what other games shaped you growing up?
So I played a lot of RPGs, Final Fantasy, Earthbound, Chrono Trigger, and Zelda games, that kind of stuff.
What kind of Zelda games did you play?
So the first one that I played was Link's Awakening for Game Boy, and I really loved that game. And then I played, A Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask.
Which one do you like the most of Majora's Mask and Ocarina?
Well, I'm kind of an Ocarina guy.
Yeah?
I know a lot of people love Majora's Mask more, and they say it's the underrated king.
Yeah.
And it's cool, but Ocarina of Time was very special and nostalgic to me. I think with Majora's Mask, I was kind of like the moon coming down. The time pressure kind of stressed me out.
It's funny
coming from me with Stardew Valley. I know, but I should think about that.
So I know you do everything yourself. You have so many hats. How do you structure that?
I don't really have a structure. It's more just kind of what I feel like doing at the moment, with a big picture in mind of how all of this is going to fit in, of course. And there might be one area of the game where I do everything for that area at once. But I think the nice thing about solo dev is that you can kind of just follow your whims. One day I might just feel like doing music. I might feel inspired to do music, so that's just what I did. Yeah, I mean, I'm not very structured in the way I go about doing things. It's kind of just spur of the moment.
Yeah, so your work hours, is it just you just wake up and then start working, or do you have a schedule?
No.
No?
I'm not like that. I'm still not like that. No, I just kind of work when I feel like it, and usually I end up being at the computer a lot. But,
I know how that, yeah. You just, I'm just gonna work a bit, and then the whole day goes by.
Right, absolutely.
You find a little problem, and then, how do I fix that problem? And then you can spend a whole day just...
Yeah, you get kind of addicted to, doing those little goals all day.
No, definitely. So, I really like the board game that you put out. So I wanted to hear your hobbies outside of video games. Do you play board games yourself?
I do. I wouldn't say I'm a huge board game person, but I do enjoy them. And the Stardew Valley board game was kind of inspired by, have you ever played Eldritch Horror?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Yeah, I was a little bit inspired by that, which is, I guess it's kind of like a nerdy board game a little bit, so.
I don't play a lot of co-op games. That's just, I don't know, but here it just works really well. We put on the Stardew Valley soundtrack and it just works perfect too.
I'm glad you appreciate it. How do you find it in terms of difficulty?
I feel actually it's really good. So it's at the final year you're really okay, we need to do this before it ends. So it's very close, and I really like that. There was this one time where we just did not win.
Yeah, no, when we were testing the game, we played so many rounds of it.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was in a pretty good place when we were kind of consistently barely winning on the last round.
Yeah, that's what you want.
We need one thing, and it's oh wait, we have items. If we do this and this and this, we can make it work. Wait, we won. To answer your question about what do I do other than, it's I think, the answer I often give, and this is true, is all the stuff that went into solo dev, music, art, writing, those are all my hobbies, basically.
Yeah.
Those were always kind of traditionally what I like to do. And so being able to combine them all into my work is it's really satisfying, and I kind of get to do all my hobbies, in my work.
So out of all the different things in the game, what do you like to do the most? Because I know there's some parts of the job that it's just it has to be done, but it's not very fun to do,
Right. I'd say probably my favorite, if I had to pick one, is probably the music.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I always, like before I even got into game dev at all, my main hobby was music, like playing in bands, like in high school.
What did you play?
I play guitar.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like lead guitar?
Yeah, like lead guitar.
Hell yeah.
I was in like metal bands.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But then I kind of got into more like computer music and like just composing stuff. And then I was in like kind of this experimental like computer pop group for a while. But that was always kind of my dream as like a teenager, was to be a musician. Like just be in like kind of weird indie bands and play shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like my original passion. But you know, there's part of me that likes all the different aspects. Like sometimes I'll be like, I want to code today.
Yeah.
Because that stimulates a certain part of the brain, you know.
Yeah, for me, coding, that's just magic. Like, I do not understand that. Music, I really like that. I remember I was watching a podcast you did with Reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it was like a 2-hour podcast where you just talked about the music of the game, and you even showed a track from Honda Chocolate Tear.
Right.
Like, that was a boss theme, and that was really, I mean, I have that stuck in my head all the time, like, bum, bum, bum,
Yeah.
bum, bum. So, talking about bosses, there's not really like bosses like that. There's enemies in Stardew Valley. So, what do you really like? Was it challenging suddenly making a boss? Was it like what did you really enjoy in that process?
For Han and Chocolatier?
Yeah, just like making a boss. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, no, I'm happy to talk about that to a degree.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, no, the designing bosses is like a whole new ball game from anything in Stardew, and I think I wanted something different. I wanted a challenge because like I want to keep growing as a game developer. Like I didn't want to just do exactly the same thing again. I know a lot of people say like Han Chocolatier looks like it's just copy and paste Stardew Valley, but you know, they haven't played the game, so they don't really know. But yeah, designing bosses is kind of like an art form all unto itself. And I'm still learning stuff, and you know, some of the bosses are gonna be like, hopefully you'll see my progression throughout the course of the game, you know, like
which ones you did first.
Yeah, exactly. But I think, you know, even a boss can be like simple but still fun. It's what matters at the end of the day is fun. I think that's the main thing I care about.
You don't want to make it too easy. You don't want to like that's a really hard balance to strike.
Yeah.
So I read that after you finish Stardew Valley, I mean, if you work on something 7 years, you're gonna be burned out, right? But you keep coming back to it. Like you're even working on this new game, but you keep like just adding new stuff. Why is it that you just have so many ideas that you just keep wanting to add?
That's true. Yeah, I have like so many ideas for Stardew. I feel like I could work on it for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And just keep improving it, adding, you know, more stuff to it, more content, fleshing out the existing content. That's the main thing I want to do, is like flesh out the existing content.
Yeah.
But, okay, here's another thing. It's so popular that
of course.
like,
I mean,
right.
What is it sold like 30 million copies? It's insane.
Something like that, yeah. So it's like, because of that, you know, I feel like I want to keep it alive, keep it fresh, delight the fans, because it's just fun to engage with that. It's like kind of, I feel like, a rare opportunity that I have, that there's so many people who are like love this game and will play, you know, whatever update I make. And it's like really what I love to do is create things and then share them with people and like give people experiences. And like Stardew is such a good platform for that, because it is very popular and people really, you know, there's a lot of, it's still really active. So it's kind of hard. Like I don't want to see it like fizzle out, you know. Like,
no.
I want to keep it alive, but then I also want to make a new game. So I'm always like.
It's a hard balance.
It is.
And you're only one person who makes it.
Well, I do have some help on Stardew updates now. Yeah.
Like what part do you get help on then?
Basically, mostly the coding, the technical stuff.
So you also got help like with the multiplayer, because that's a whole like.
True. Yeah, it's like, you know, with the creative stuff, I'm very like kind of particular, and I want to make sure that it's like my vision, but with the programming, I'm more like, does it work? You know, it's like the players don't really get to see under the hood on the code.
I totally get that, like with video editing. Sometimes I wish it was just like, someone could just watch through, it's like, does this work?
Well, and there's also just areas where I'm just not that good at, or I don't have the knowledge to do like really deeply technical stuff. Like I'm kind of a gameplay programmer, you know? Like, it's just, I'm not an elegant programmer. It's just like, make it work, make it fun for the player. Like that's what, you know, that's my angle, so.
Perfect. So I work remote myself. I don't really see my coworkers other than on the screen. Like when you work on a game for so long, that must be quite lonely. How did you deal with that?
Well, it helps that I'm a pretty like solitary person in general. I think I'm just kind of good at that. I tend to just kind of get into my own world with, you know, my creative pursuits, and then I just lock in.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, it is a little bit lonely, and when you are creating something like Stardew Valley or making a game by yourself, you know, for the most part, it's like there are some sacrifices you have to make, but I don't regret it. I mean, it's like this is a dream come true for me to, you know, see something that I made blow up and a lot of people love it. So, yeah.
You probably get asked a lot what your favorite track in Stardew Valley is, but what's your most what's the most underrated one? The one that people don't really talk about, but it's just one that you're really proud of.
From the music?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Doesn't have to be maybe just a track that you're really proud of that you don't see like as many people talking about.
I think like the town theme. Yeah, it's like maybe a little, like I never see anyone talking about it, but I think it really like has a good vibe to it. And there's like these kind of like basic like kind of like I call them like the country songs, and there's like it's a town theme, like some of the shop themes.
Yeah.
Like there's one that plays in like Marnie's shop and they just kind of have this like feel good. It like sets the tone and the vibe of the game, but I feel like they're kind of people kind of latch onto the big.
Yeah, the different like season tracks.
Moonlight Jellies are like the winter songs that really like hit hard, but I think the kind of the subtle atmospheric ones that.
Oh, it's a great track. So
yeah, it gives like kind of this country vibe to the whole town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great sound effects in Stardew Valley. Did you make all those like in synths? Did you go and record stuff in real life?
Most of them were just synthesizer.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I would just go in and tweak, you know, waveforms until I got something that sounded right. There was a couple things that I recorded, notably like when you break rocks in the mines, there's kind of like this rock crumbling sound. Yeah, that. I was out on the lawn at my parents' house and I was just like throwing rocks.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but most of them are synthesizers, and then there's a few like kind of like the ambient soundscapes, which I got just like on royalty-free like websites. Yeah.
What about like the sound when you open a chest? That's such a good sound.
That one, I'm pretty sure was just a synthesizer.
Really?
Yeah.
The music and sound effects is just so, I mean, everything in the game is just so iconic, but to me, especially the music, I listen to the music so often, just put it in my ears, and it's just so relaxing. And
I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
What are some games after Stardew Valley? So I don't know how much time you have to play games and stuff, but what are some of your favorite games that you've played after Stardew Valley came out?
I do still play games, and you know, there's a lot of good games that I've played. It's like recently I got way into Balatro.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's a great game.
Oh yeah.
You just boot it up and suddenly...
Yeah, hours have gone by. You really lock in, you like zone in, you're in a trance.
The music and everything.
Oh, the music's great.
Yeah.
I love the music. What else? I recently played Outer Wilds for the first time.
Great. Yeah. What do you think?
It was good. Yeah, I think it's one of those games that like everyone needs to play once, you know?
Yeah. I remember I played it and it's like, I did not get it. And then I got to the end and I felt like it just changed how I looked on like life and stuff.
Yeah, it's a really cool, like, I think it's kind of game design kind of case, you know? Like, just you know what I'm talking about if you've played it.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to spoil anything.
No,
because
you can't spoil it.
No.
But yeah, I played that recently. I played the Riven remake. I grew up playing Riven, and I think it's one of the best of those genre of games ever. Yeah. And this is a little controversial, but like with my team, sometimes we play Fortnite. Yeah.
I don't know, that's controversial. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people have strong opinions about Fortnite.
Yeah, when stuff gets really popular, it tends to get a lot of hate. Something that I don't see with Stardew Valley, I just feel like there's such a nice community and everyone just really likes the game.
That's true, yeah. Stardew, like somehow, even though it's gotten very popular, it still kind of has this really small indie feel to it, like the community, the game itself, how people think about the game, and I'm really glad about that. It's great.
Finally, I just wanted to say thank you. Like me and my brother, we have like a 6-year difference, and it's just, we don't play a lot of games together. We have very different tastes, but Stardew Valley was one of those games that we could join in and just bond with. And so just thank you for making the game.
That means a lot to me. Yeah, I mean, I talk about what I like to do is share things with other people, but it's also been like really touching that, Stardew Valley has meant so much to so many people, and, just hearing stories about how people have bonded playing multiplayer and all that, like it really makes me feel good.
And with that, Eric had to get back to the Fangamer booth where there was a colossal line of people waiting to meet him. It really puts into perspective how much of an impact this single man has had on so many people. Thanks again to Fangamer and Eric for this very fortunate and learnful experience. We're very grateful here at Nintendo Life. Also, thank you to Tucker from Backlog Banter for holding the secondary camera the entire interview. I'll leave a link to his channel down in the description below. Oh, and for everyone who's still here, I thought I'd show you a little bonus clip of me actually showing Eric one of my personal video game songs, because he's a big inspiration to the type of stuff I do in my free time.
There's one final thing, this doesn't have to be in the interview, so I noticed that there isn't any music on the beach, and I know that is intentional, but I composed some music for the beach. If you don't mind, can I show it to you?
Yeah, of course.
That's amazing. Well, do you want to, I have like an AirPod, do you want to do that or just here?
Whatever you think is best. You're
okay, I think you'll
composer.
probably, yeah. Okay, I have like an AirPod, and then I can tell, hey, Eric Barone had my AirPod in his ear. So that's pretty cool.
Can sell it for a few $1,000s.
So yeah, here you go. Thank you for giving it a listen. I really appreciate this.
Oh, this is great.
Thank you.
Nice. I love the bends.
Thank you. Yeah, I see you do that a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh, nice. That's good. That's one of my glitters.
Yeah? I searched so long for like a sound. I wanted like that exact song.
You got the structure down very well. Like
Yeah?
it's kind of it's like it's the structure of like the kind of music that I make. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No, that's good. I have something funny to say about that though. It's like the steel drums.
Yeah?
I actually just joined a steel drum band.
You
Yeah, like in real life. Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
So what do you do in a steel drum band?
It's like there's like 20 people or something in the band, and we all just play steel drum music.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah.
How often do you meet? It's just like once a
It's like once a week.
Really?
For practice, and then we do shows, random shows. Yeah. It was kind of just random. It was like 3 weeks ago. But I love the steel drum. It's just it's got such a joyful sound to it.
So yeah, that was it.
Great song though. Thanks for sharing that with me.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.